Hello everyone. Today is what I call self-improvement Saturdays. I think I want to designate my Saturdays as times when I review what I've done for the week and think about ways of improving um, making YouTube videos. So why do I even want to make YouTube videos? Um, well, I think I at its very core, I think I have ideas that I want to communicate. I do think that I spend a lot of time overthinking or having a lot of things that um, get stuck in my mind, especially especially about Magic the Gathering. And I hope that by making YouTube videos, I can practice to communicate my ideas better and maybe in a audio, visual, and scripting sort of way. So what would tell me that I am doing a good job, like based on my own personal standards. So I think, well, it's not really that specific yet, but I think I'm personally satisfied if when I watch it, like I can watch it and I do get entertained, and I think the idea or the premise of the video gets communicated well enough. Yeah. So this is, well, I've been thinking about this a lot throughout the week. I think this is my video making framework. I think it's basically the same as the idea of communication, where we have a message that gets sent through a media to an audience. I think they have different terms for it in communication and transmission. I have like three bullet points under each, which are like aspects that I thought are like a list of things that I could improve on. So, under message, which is like the main idea of a video, I have ideation, which is like the actual idea behind the video, the premise. I have storytelling, which is how I structure the story, the scripting. Sorry, I mean the narrative. And then the actual scripting, where I edit the how I phrase or cut down the actual words. And then here in media, we have, of course, since YouTube videos are an audiovisual media, we have, I think, audio and sound might play a bigger role. So I put audio and sound first. Next is visual elements, which help communicate the idea better. And then we have editing, so that we can once you have like the audio and the visual elements, you can kind of cut down or enhance some aspects. And then lastly, of course, we have to uh, find an audience. So that's the packaging, like thumbnail and title. And then maybe I could use shorts to reach a wider audience. And then maybe I could pay attention to trends in videos. So that was like a lot of things to consider, but I don't want to try all of them all at once because I think that if I try to do it all, I'm prone to burning out when there's no like immediate feedback. I'd rather a sustainable and consistent method of improvement, even if it's a little, as long as I improve a little each day. So I want to start with being better at ideation because I think the core of a YouTube video, it has to have a good idea, a good premise. And I've searched at least the for me page or for YouTube Magic the Gathering videos on YouTube, and I wanted to be a bit witty about it. So I found like four aspects that I think capture people's attention when or like make it sound important, like you should watch this, makes it important for people. And I phrase it so that each of them starts with the letter R, so it would be easier to remember. So I'd say it's recent, remarkable, relevant, and resonant. Now, what does each of those what do each of those words mean? I think for recent, new things or events. So, of course, when something happens and you see it on YouTube, like for example, in Magic the Gathering, there's a new set for The Hobbit. Uh, Typically, it's a news or current event style of video. Uh, Me, the viewer, wants to watch it because maybe there's something I should know. So you can see here the example is straight from the official Magic the Gathering channel. Of course, they're the source of news since they are the company. Next, I think is remarkable. So it's something of a spectacle, something unique. So I think it grabs your attention and curiosity. Like for example here, I think the commands on, or at least this video specifically, we play with banned cards. So of course, I think there are better examples, but this was the one that came up. And I think the reason why it caught my attention is because, of course, I am aware of the banned cards, such as, I mean, you can see it here in the thumbnail, like Black Lotus, Dockside, Extortionist, Nadu, Golos, etc. Like, it's not new, but I, I would want to watch this video because I want to see how it plays out, or I want to see what happens next. Next is relevant. So I think this one comes from instructional or demonstrative videos because although it could not be recent and it could not be remarkable, it could be something even relatively boring. It might be useful for me to know. So here is um, the professor from Tolarian Community College. He has a video here giving tips for better commander deck building. And of course, not all Magic the Gathering players are commander players, but a large amount of them are. And if you're a commander player, you might look at this video and think, this might be useful for me because it could inform what I do for Magic the Gathering, which is build decks and then play those decks. And then lastly, it could not be it could be not resonant, not recent, not remarkable, and not relevant in a useful sort of way. So I made up or I used a different word. I call it resonant. So I think it evokes emotions or something niche that people might be interested in. Um, for me, I'd say comedy or opinion pieces falls under this category. So if you, well, the example here is from Magic the Noah. Your favorite colors reveal your personality. And it's not recent, it's not remarkable, and it's not really that relevant. It doesn't necessarily help you in playing Magic. But a lot of Magic the Gathering players self identify with the colors of Magic like a personality test. And this kind of builds into that. So, yeah, it is an example of something that resonates with people, even if it's not recent, remarkable, or relevant. It does make them feel like, hey, it's something that makes me think about myself more or makes me feel some sort of way. Now, of course, each video isn't just one or the other. I think every video is some level of all these four, but in varying amounts. So, for example, here I have the professor again from Tolarian Community College. He talks about, I think, his opinion on the future of Magic since the universes within sets for 2027 were announced. So this is definitely recent, and I think it is resonant because we're not watching him to find out what's in 2027. I think that was revealed through the official news channel or the official channel. I think we watch him because he will tell us his opinion and it would resonate with us. Like, so it is an opinion piece. Of course, I guess it's remarkable in a way because it's both remarkable and relevant in a way, but not to the extent that, well, it's not so remarkable because we don't, or relevant because we don't really know how this affects us yet. Next is, you can see here MTG Goldfish. I think it's both recent and relevant. So it's they're talking about hob new Hobbit set cards spoiled. So it's recent because it's just coming out, and it's relevant because they're talking about possible potential card decks that we could use, or techniques or strategies. To the lower left, we have Doctor Doom, King of Latveria, EDH deck tech. So I think that's remarkable and relevant because it's not that recent. It's the Marvel Commander. And okay, technically it is kind of recent because it was the last set. I think it's remarkable and relevant because it's a demonstrative or an instructional video. So it kind of, if you watch this and you decide to play Doctor Doom, I mean, it tells you how. But I think it's remarkable because, well, at least personally, when I saw it, even though I don't really have any intention of building Doctor Doom, I still wanted to see how it plays out. Like, how does a Doctor Doom deck work? And then to the lower right, we have, oh, it's another Tolarian Community College. I didn't realize. It's a shuffle up and play with guests Moist Critical and Slimesicle. Streamers, I think. And Amy and the Professor are both Magic the Gathering personalities. So I think this is remarkable because, well, this is resonant because you're watching this because you kind of want to be entertained by the personalities of the Professor and Amy, but you kind of want to see how it goes with Moist Critical and Slimesicle because I think, although, yeah, they play Magic the Gathering, they're not usually known for Magic the Gathering content. So it's remarkable because you kind of want to see how it plays out, but it's resonant because, sure, you will see how it plays out, but you are generally just entertained. It's definitely not recent. They don't use any new cards, and it's not necessarily relevant. It's not like you're going to learn specifically, or you're not watching this to learn how to use Igra, Eterafall. So yeah, so those were just examples of how different videos might have different or varying amounts of one, two, or all of the four aspects that I've outlined. But how do I use it in better ideation? How do I implement this? So of course, number one is to watch more content, of course, because you always start with research. Number two, um, this is how I think I should do it anyway. So sometimes I might take note of some things that are interesting. Maybe I'll come up with full ideas. Maybe I'll come with half or partially formed ideas. But either way, I should take note of it. And then I should designate the time at the end of the day or maybe the end of the week. I should review the ideas for their value. Maybe I can combine two partially formed ideas or more into one better idea, or maybe I could cut ideas that don't have a lot of merit to them, or maybe I could just put them on the back burner. Maybe I could wait. Maybe I need to wait for a while. Maybe an idea takes more work, and I think it would be useful to have a bank of ideas in case I don't necessarily come up with any new ones. And yeah, so throughout, of course, if I plan to make Magic the Gathering YouTube videos, I should also consume Magic the Gathering content. And I think naturally I will just eventually come up with more ideas, whether half formed, partially formed, or fully formed. And I should just take note of them. So this is just, I think it's kind of common sense thing, but this is just me formalizing the process so that I remember it to do what I should be doing. So yeah, and you can see here I put a little bit of a note. So for recent, it's usually events, so I should keep up with, I guess, the official Magic the Gathering YouTube channel, or more likely their articles. For relevant, I should take note of what could be useful. So personally, I really like Salubrious Snail. I think he does a lot of good commander theory. But MTG Goldfish and well, MTG Goldfish is what I typically watch for actual, like, up to date opinions on card card and deck and strategies. Command Zone, I think, is more of a resonant thing for me. I don't really watch it to learn things, but once in a while I may, you know, pick up ideas from them. But usually they play for fun and we watch them for fun, I think. Yeah, so for remarkable and resonant, um, I guess Reddit, the podcast, Mark Rosa Waters' Drive to Work, um, basically most other YouTube channels. Yeah, so but either way, I think they all have the same methodology. So basically, to reiterate, just watch a lot, a variety of content, take note of any ideas I come up with, and then review them later on. Yeah, so I think it's clear cut, and I think I should try to implement this in the following week and see, like, how it goes. Hopefully, I'll come up with better ideas, and then eventually I'll work on implementing them better. So that's all for me. Thank you if you've listened this far. It's this one's gone a bit long. So if you're here, thank you for listening and goodbye.